It's running a little late today, and I have no reason at all. I did not go to the gym today. My trainer, turns out the trainer is out of town. So, yeah, I'm just, I no reason. Just having kind of a lazy Sunday morning. I'm going to have a busy Sunday. Maybe that's part of it. Okay, so we are in the Science Mind Text. We are in part 5. We have concluded Ernest's from the teachings of Jesus, and we are moving on into the part that says other teachings from the New Testament. Now, I did go ahead and title it that because that's what Ernest Holmes titled it. But, shoot. Well, that's going to be a problem. Hang on. The camera started to slip, and I knocked the book that supports it off. So let's see if I can do it with this one. Nope. Okay. And if this all goes sideways in a minute, then there we are. Okay. Because it's a dictionary and it's precariously balanced. So I'm going to try not to touch the table. All right. But as I started to say, when I was in Reverend Norm taught, I think I took 4 classes from Reverend Norm. And one of the classes that he taught, and I don't remember which one it was, but obviously it was one dealing with the Bible. It may have been Metaphysical Bible. One of the things that he jumped all over us about was the way we call the way we call the 2 parts of the Bible. We are not allowed to call it the Old Testament. We were not allowed to call it the Old Testament and the New Testament. It's disrespectful. So what we called it was the Hebrew Testament and the Christian Testament, to denote that the first part was written by the Hebrews, and then the second part was written by Christians. So, and the thing is when you look at the people of the book, there are 3 people of the book. There are 3 major religions that all use the Hebrew Bible, the Christian Bible, and then the Islam added the Quran. But they still use the other 2 books. So they are called, all 3 of them are called the people of the book. And we won't even go into how much they fight over that. So that is neither here nor there. So while I did go ahead and title it the other teachings from the New Testament, one of the things, like I said, that's one of the things that Reverend Norm was big about. He said, that's just disrespectful. The Christian Testament. So, and I have no idea what this is going to look like. We're just going to get into it. Ernest Holmes' ideas. So we are going to start with the law of correspondence from Romans 1:20. This teaching incorporates the great law of correspondence. The spiritual world contains an image of the physical. The physical is a counterpart to the spiritual, or of the spiritual. The true estimates of the outward symbol point to the spiritual reality behind it. We understand the unseen by correctly viewing the seen. The outward effect must partake of its inward nature. The physical universe is the result of an inner intelligence working through law. Behind form is an idea. The formless creates form through the creative power of its own mind and spirit. Behind every effect, there is a cause. And if this cause is a spiritual idea, which it must be, then it follows that should the spiritual idea be discerned, the physical effect would be like it. The entire possibility of demonstrating this law of good depends upon this preposition. The idea is father to the fact. Ideas are real, having the power within themselves to be made manifest. The whole teaching of the Bible is to the effect that God is universal spirit and universal creation. God creates by this power of God's word. This word is the law of God's being. Humanity reproduces the divine idea on the scale of the individual. They also use the creative power which works through the law of their word. From this, they cannot escape. They need only to use this power constructively, and all will be well. If they use the creative power of their thought destructively, then it will destroy. In the science of mind, we learn that persistent constructive thought is the greatest power known and the most effective. If the visible effect in our life is not what it should be, if we are unhappy, sick, poverty-stricken, we know the remedy. The truth is always the remedy, and the truth is that the law of liberty is the only real law. When we reverse the process of thought, the effect will be removed. I say that, and then I'm also reminded that, there are a lot of systems put in place by people using the law destructively that keep people in these situations. And so hence Science of Mind has a social justice arm to dismantle that. Okay. If you don't like what your life looks like, then what you do is you go back and say, okay, well, what can I do about it? And part of it is changing your mindset. One of the things about changing our mindset is when we change our mindset, I saw a meme, I think, Reverend Kathy Mastriani posted it, that said there's great power in the belief that everything will work out. Okay. And that's true. And so what you do is you go back and you look at your life and you go, all right, because when you do that, you start to see opportunities that you didn't see before. That is the biggest thing. If you believe you can't, then you can't. All right. That's the way the law works. It works by not working. So, and then what you do is you look at the systems and structures in place, and we go and smash them. So, because there are systems in place. I don't know who I was talking to the other day, because the American medical is not set up to help people get well. It is designed to keep people sick because that keeps people paying. And so that is one of those systems that we need to smash. So, every now and again I come off as a wild-eyed revolutionary. Today may be one of them. So, fair warning. Well, it's not fair warning because I told you after the fact, but here we are. If you've been watching these for any period of time, you know that there is definitely a wild-eyed revolutionary in there. I just hide it under a veneer of gentility. No, I don't. Okay. There is no condemnation. Romans 8:1. There is therefore now no condemnation to them who walk after the Spirit. As it is impossible for us to be in another person, it is necessary that each live their own life within the one light. It follows that the writer was not referring to personality, but to universal principle. We are in Christ when we are in truth. We are in truth when we live in harmony with it. There is no mystery about this. It is common sense. The law of Spirit makes us free from sin and death. The law of Spirit is freedom and knows no bondage. When we enter the Spirit, we come under its law of freedom. To be spiritually minded in life and peace. Who does not long for life and peace? These are contained in the Spirit, which is the center and circumference of all. The carnal mind is not subject to the law of God because it is a limited concept of truth. The carnal mind symbolizes everything that disbelieves in the supremacy of good. It is belief in isolation, a sense of separation from good. And that's how he ends that. What? Okay. There is no condemnation. One of the things about that is, if we're going to talk about the principle, we're going to talk about the principle of there is no condemnation. One of the things that we have to think, okay, so if you go live your life and I go live my life, as long as I'm not hurting anybody, including myself, and as long as you're not hurting anybody, including yourself, then I've got nothing to say about the way you live your life. Absolutely nothing. And you have nothing to say about the way I live my life. And that's the way it should be. You know, it should be. If we can agree that the way I live my life is nobody's business but my own, unless I'm hurting either myself or others, then we can get along. You know, we can live in harmony because the choices that I make to live my life are mine. Same with you. And if we could just stop condemning each other, life would be a whole lot more peaceful and harmonious. Like, you know, not getting all up in judgment about the clothes that each other wears and things like that. And I'm just like, probably not what he was talking about, but that's where I went with it. All right, I'm going to do one more and then we'll wrap this up. Looks like we're going to be in Romans for a minute. So, let's see. The Spirit that raised Jesus, Romans 8:11. The Spirit that raised Jesus dwells in all. The Spirit quickens our mortal bodies when we let it. Here is a lesson in mental and spiritual healing. As the truth dawns upon the subjective state of our thought, it stimulates it into newness of action. Everything works from within out. The body is a reflection of the soul, and when the soul, which is the subjective state of thought, is illumined by the Spirit, it quickens the mortal part of us and heals the body. The mortal is always an effect, a creature of time, but a necessary one, for without it we could not function as objective individuals. I don't know what I'm getting myself into with this. So, you know what? There we are. Maybe I just need to go read Romans. Because at least with the teachings of Jesus, I was fairly familiar with them. You know, what he was talking about. But here we're talking about, like, I'm not familiar with Romans. I don't know what... I've read Romans. I know I've read Romans. I'm a good student, and I read, you know, probably 3/4 of a Bible in 10 weeks when I took the distance Bible class, and I've had metaphysical Bible, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so there we go. That's where I'm stopping today. And here's where I'm just going to give you the housekeeping. I'm just going to remind you that one of the easy ways to support the center is to engage with our social media. Go like, subscribe, share, follow, comment. Oh, let me tell you what they are. Creative Life. Hang on. I'm out of order. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center and Creative Life Spark Those are our social medias. Like on Instagram and TikTok, I think we're Creative Life Spark, and on YouTube and Facebook, we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. I am on the social medias as the Running Rev Ryan. I don't have a TikTok. TikTok dances. No, thank you. So that's an easy way to support the center. Just engage with it. All right. It bumps us in the algorithms. Also, if you want more information about the center, clearly I need to reset my brain here this morning. If you want more information about the center, the website is creativelife.org, and the constant contact is email, info@creativelife.org. The email, you get one a week, and it is a constant contact. The hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it'll take you right to the person or to the information. Okay. Yeah. I don't know where my head is today. Oh, wow. Reverend Arthur's going to be good. And I'm just going to, yeah. So that's what I was about to say. Reverend Arthur is doing the message today. If you've not seen Reverend Arthur, please click into that because he is amazing. He both raises the roof and brings the house down. And yet he will leave it intact and standing. So it'll be amazing. All right. What I'm going to do now is encourage you to have a great day, wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a sun day, a stay out of the sun day. I haven't checked the heat today. I don't know where our heat index is going to be. A drink plenty of water day, a take a nap day, a call a friend day, a go to lunch with a friend day, a cuddle your fur babies day, a get ready for next week day, a take care of yourself day, a take a break day, a come here Reverend Arthur day, a good day, and if that's too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are spirit in motion, God in action, a brilliant light, a divine spark, or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. All right, beloveds. Seeing as how my brain is a little short today, I'm simply going to remind you, Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. But it is Sunday, so we will have an amazing service for you. So you can either scroll up one video or go to, if it's anytime after probably about 8 o'clock Sunday night, you can go to the YouTube channel. The only difference is on Facebook there's music and on YouTube there's not, because YouTube has rules. So I have to download the service, cut the music out, and then put it up on YouTube. So, yeah, there we are. All right. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.